Judge Sparkle told the state they had to put that system on hold, that they couldn't use it. Again, yet another federal judge, just like the case we just had in Georgia where they stopped the Justice Department from getting the names of the people that worked on the 2020 election in Fulton County. Now another federal judge came along apparently last week, just a week later, or a week ago, and said that Florida cannot use that Social Security data to vet its own voter rolls. That's just insane. So we have that. Now another judge has come along apparently and restored those features to the system in Florida. So now you got conflicting judicial rulings as of this afternoon over the use of that system. Here's from one of the blogs that follows these court cases. And I know this is kind of dry electioneering stuff, but I think it's important. Judge T. Kent Weatherall II, I bet that's what they call him, number 2 down at the country club. He held that the Homeland Security breached a court-approved settlement by disabling the saved features after this Judge Sparkle gave her ruling. He said he expressly disagreed with her legal analysis and concluding that the Social Security number search and bulk upload features don't violate federal law. So now you got dueling federal judges involved in another case that's critical in a state like Florida that's trying to lead the efforts in the country to clean up this mess of an election system. Man, look at that shot, AJ. I hear the winds howling outside. I think my camera's going to blow over. I'll have to go get that thing. Oh, I don't want it to fall over. You see it wobbling? AJ, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
All right, never mind. You busy man.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me talk about EcoView, and then we'll get to the break. We'll try to reset. I'm going to run out there and I'm going to grab that camera and quit using it. The other one's a little more stable.
Yeah, that wind is definitely picking up.
Dude, it was swinging that thing. It was swinging it all the way up against the motorhome. You can see the side of the motorhome. I put it there to kind of block the wind off it, but it's doing me no good because the winds out here will suddenly just pick up and be 50 miles an hour out of nowhere, which is why they're having so much fire danger. Now, it's not as dry here, but other parts of the West that have these kind of winds in the afternoons, that's when the fires get really scary. And sadly, it's what was part of the contributing factor that took that young lady's life from Alabama, which is, by the way, we talked about it quite a bit. The flags in Alabama are at half staff for Sydney Watson from Alabama, who died fighting those fires out here near the Utah-Colorado border. And we tried to pay tribute to her yesterday. But, what was I talking about? Let's talk about EcoView. And then I may take a phone call. EcoView Windows, let's talk about your power bill for a minute. We're about to get whopped. Just go ahead and get ready for it. I'm telling you, even though I've not been using a lot of my utilities, I got people coming and going from the house and a lot of work going on there. But my power bill will still be high because you got to leave the air on. And some of y'all have had to crank it down because you're dealing with the heat. Do everything you can to keep those costs down and improve your home. One of those ways, of course, is take care of your heating and air system. We talk about that all the time with Douglas. But the other half of that equation is don't have leaky, single pane, out-of-date, old-school windows. I mean, you need the real deal windows, and that's what they do and put in at EcoView Windows and doors, by the way. Let Becky Jackson's team come out and assess your situation, count your windows, measure everything. And if you'll let them button up your whole house so it's not leaky, they've got this 35% guarantee that they can talk to you about how that works and save you 35% over the course of the first 12 months on what you were paying previously with those old single pane, old school, out-of-date Swiss cheese windows of yours. I mean, your heating and air is just going out. I mean, it's just going out the window. You're not sleeping well at night. It's hot and clammy in the house. Take care of that and improve your whole situation because these are new. They open, they close easily. And let some fresh air in too when the air gets nicer. It's ecoviewwindows.com. Y'all, these are great folks and great with their work. When they come for the install, they're in and out. They clean up after themselves and life is good. It's ecoviewwindows.com. Y'all reach out to them and let them come see you at EcoView Windows. AJ, let's get Mark in here so he doesn't have to hold, and we'll slide the break in. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Leland. Man, I love your show. Unfortunately, I've only been listening for about maybe a little bit over a year. I just didn't really know about you, but I'm from Birmingham. Spent a good bit of time out in the Tetons. And real quick, I want to say that you're wrong about the boobs comment, because the trappers,
Yep.
trappers that came out there and saw the three prominent peaks called them Les Trois Tetons, and that's right. It's the three you know whats. But
Well,
what I also wanted to say is that I grew up with a guy in Birmingham, and after our first year of college, we drove out to Yellowstone to go backpacking, and and that was in 1978.
wow.
And basically, he stayed, and he lived on the Idaho side of the Tetons. He died last week.
Mm,
It was a big blow to me. He was
yeah.
an artist. He did landscape paintings. I don't really want to say his name on air, but he built lodgepole furniture for a few years. I'd go out. My family would go out. My son and I would go out and ski. But I hated to lose him. But just wanted to mention that, and I envy you for being out there in God's country. Absolutely.
Mark, it is beautiful out here, and I appreciate you sharing that story with us, because you reminded me of a lot of the people I've met out here, especially during the vacation time when I had more time to chat. If you ask them when did they come here, they all have this story about how they fell in love and couldn't leave. I met a guy at a store. I wish I could have interviewed him. He was just a historian. This guy had knew so much history, but he said similar story. He said, I came out here in '74 when I was 18. And I just couldn't go home. He said, I've been here 45 years. And then
Yeah.
others will say that. I met a guy in a store. I bought a little jacket in a store out here, and he was just the same way. He was in medical school and burnt out, and he just decided this is where my soul needs to be. And so you hear stories like that from almost, unless you're, second, third generation or fifth generation out here, people will come out here and just decide I can't leave. I got to be here, and I can see it's enchanting for sure. And I did not know that. I really didn't know. I thought it was a joke that the mountains were named after boobs, but apparently not.
Les Trois Tetons. So, but yeah, my friend followed his path, but we kept in touch, and I always loved going out there. So,
Well, Mark, sorry about your friend, buddy, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
great talking to you.
Thank you, Mark. And so, AJ, it's confirmed from a previous caller. You're basically looking at nature's titties.
I mean,
That's what he said.
I mean, they're very perky.
The thing is, it's like 5 of them, so that doesn't even make sense. Les Trois would be 2, right? There's 5 of them. I think there's 5 major peaks. What is this, a dog? I mean,
I'm just saying, like maybe they were drinking and those 5 turned into 2.
They could have been. Could have been. French love to drink. That could be true. Yeah. All right. So the more you know, the more you learn. Here we are. All right. Quick break. Back in a minute from the Grand Tetons. And it's 526. Birmingham Broker bringing you the show tonight. Craig called me on this trip. Told y'all this story yesterday. I'm out riding a bicycle right near where I am now, out in the Tetons on one of these trails they have. And I get this call from Craig Westbrook, and I'm like, dude, something must be up. Craig knows I'm on vacation. So he was urgent, man. He said, don't mean to interrupt you, but when you get back, you need to tell the folks I am out of inventory. What that means is what they do there is broker cars and trucks and SUVs for people that just need to sell them, and they handle it. They move them. They've moved so many so fast, they need more cars and trucks. They need things to sell. That's a good situation for you. That's a good indication in the market that it's kind of a seller's market right now because there's a lot of activity. So here's what you do. You reach out to Birmingham Broker. You can get an appointment. I think you could just pop in, but it's probably good to let them know you're coming, and you drive right into the building. So if you got a car to sell and you need it offloaded, they'll just handle it. They'll give you a good assessment of the low end and the top end on the price range. Go out there and try to get you in excess of that if they can. They're quick about their work. They handle the haggling, the negotiation, finding the buyer, doing the paperwork. It's gone. The car's gone, and you get maximum value. You're going to get way more than you're going to get trading it in at a wholesale price. You know, when I was growing up, the difference between wholesale and retail was $2,000 maybe. Now, I mean, it can be as much as $6, $7, or $8,000 with the price of cars and trucks nowadays. So get maximum value and don't go just trade it in wholesale. Then you can go find a new one somewhere at one of these fine dealers around town, but they'll help you unload the one you have, and it's the smart way to do it. I'll just tell you, I'll never trade a different way again than with Craig and Keith and those guys down at Behan Broker. But they're looking for stuff to sell. Get it down there, let them sell it for you. They'll get on it. They're good like that. Birmingham Broker, downtown on 4th Avenue South, BehanBroker.com, BehanBroker.com. Well, I'm trying to get this image of the Tetons. And by the way, one of our listeners pointed out that I guess trois in French, AJ, is three. So it really means the three titties. I'm just saying. I thought it was two. I don't know my French. I don't even like the French. I'm pulling against them in the World Cup too. But yeah, it's three. So now we've totally debased the entire show. Thank y'all for the education. What's amazing is I'm sitting here looking out the front window, the big front window in the mobile studio here, watching people pull up. They'll pull up right in front of me, then they walk out and look. And these are folks that probably just got to the area. This guy in front of me now is towing an Airstream and a nice big white truck. And so it looks like he and his daughter jumped out. And it's funny to watch people when they first see these mountains, they just stand there for a minute. It's like you just got to they don't even talk. And to a person, I'm seeing people do that when they pull up and get out. Then they start taking photos and walking around. But it's just they sort of stand there with this awe that I guess only nature can kind of inspire sometimes. So it's kind of neat. I just want to paint a picture for y'all. I didn't want to put a camera on them because I don't want to. I'm trying to keep the shots real wide. These people don't know I'm in here yapping on the radio as they come and go from this beautiful park. All right, bottom of the hour. We'll come back and keep it going. Your phone calls too. Bring it, man. We got 30 more minutes to chat. By the way, it looks like we're hitting Iran pretty hard again. The markets and most people are just ignoring this story right now. We'll give you an update on that on the other side of the break. Leland Live, Talk 99.5. Back in a minute. It's 5:34. Let's talk to my man Thomas. Haven't talked to Thomas in ages since I was on vacation, and it's been a minute. Thomas is, of course, over at Stockton Mortgage, taking care of people's mortgage needs. Thomas, what is going on with you tonight, man?
Man, it has been a minute. It seems like it's been 3 months since I talked to you.
I know it. It really
You've been
does.
on sabbatical.
Yeah,
I hope you had a fantastic time with your family. I know it was well deserved for sure. Man, with the 4th of July just passing, I just wanted to remind everybody that, we partner with a great organization with Homes for Heroes, which, we've talked about it many, many times. And what that organization does is we help give back to our heroes, which is many, and that's obviously it's our veterans and on all our service personnel, which is military, police, first responders, and also medical personnel and teachers. So if you're looking to buy or refinance, we give back a portion of the closing costs to help at closing. It helps with the closing costs. So if you're in the market to buy or refinance, give us a call and we can help get you a portion of those closing costs for a great organization with Homes for Heroes. And, it's just another way that we help to give back. We help our service members. Man, we love helping those that help us and serve us every day. So just want to remind those out there, and just another thank you right now as the 4th of July just passed. It's just another way, just another reminder that just wanted to reach out and let everybody know that. So give us a call today, 205-859-8859, or savewithstockton.com.
SaveWithStockton.com. Good reminder, and thanks for y'all for doing that, Thomas, and always being good folks like that. SaveWithStockton.com. We appreciate you, Thomas.
Yes,
they have that website set up just for this audience, so if you reach out there, they're going to know it's from here. And I'm just saying you might get a little extra love because the relationship with Stockton over the years has been so good. Y'all reach out to them and just let them help you probe what's possible that you can do. All right, let's go to this Iran situation. Let me get you updated. I gave a little bit of commentary to this earlier because we thought there might be some more action today. So the Iranians started attacking ships and vessels and threatening ships and vessels in the Strait again. It's a hostage situation that they continue to threaten, even though Trump is trying to keep at the table with these peace talks. And the way it's going, as you know, is they'll hit something and we proportionally hit back, and then we talk some more. And it's the oddest thing because the markets and even the headlines seem to be blowing this stuff off. So here's the latest. CENTCOM just put a statement out and talked about our action. We are now striking targets in what is described as massive bombing raids on Iranian military facilities located along the coastline. And so there's a dynamic here where they are able to hide a lot of assets. Drones are easy to hide, easy to deploy from almost anywhere up and down that coastline to continue to threaten vessels. But when they do, they expose themselves, and it gives us a target opportunity to take that threat away. But at the same time, the question continues to be, are these people just that nuts? The answer is yes. They're homicidal maniacs. They fervently believe they're on a mission for God. They believe that that's their way to heaven, is to keep fighting with all these evil countries like ours, and they're going to do what they can do. Also, they're terrorists and opportunists. Their whole country was founded on violence and terrorism and hostage taking, and they've been doing this since 1979. So not much of a surprise. So they attacked some more vessels. I think it was early this morning, and of course, we've still got all our assets in the region and can hit them anywhere, anytime. What I wonder is how proportional or disproportional it'll be. Trump talks a lot, and man, our bombing's always devastating, but they keep doing it. The question I get a lot, and a lot of people would ask themselves, is what the hell's wrong with these people? Why do they keep doing that knowing they're going to get hit back? Well, I think the only leverage they have left, and it's because, again, it's a low-tech threat, is to threaten those shipping lanes and to try to keep some kind of input or control of those lanes. And the bottom line is that they're trying to manipulate the price of oil, and it's their leverage. It's their only political pressure is to have Americans A lot of hand wringers over here in this country when gas goes up 10 cents want to paint some picture of victimhood about themselves and put pressure on our politicians in this situation. And it's a cycle. They know that. They understand us better than we understand them, to be honest with you. So they're trying to manipulate the barrel price. Every time it slips and continues to dive, they jump back in and do something to keep that pressure up. It's all they have. So they've done it again. Oil has gone below 70 for several days now. I think today it closed at about 69. It was up a few cents, maybe close to $1, but well within range and within reason and about where it was before all this stuff started. So when I would see these headlines, and again, I was a bit tuned out to the news cycle during the vacation time, but still trying to keep up a little bit because I felt like that there was so much news that was going to be beyond me when I got back. So I would check in with the news, and I would see these alarming headlines about stuff going off in the Strait, and I'd go check the price of oil, see what was happening. And I noticed a shift in the last about 2 or 3 weeks, especially since these negotiations have been going on, that the oil and energy markets aren't reacting in a knee-jerk way to everything that happens over there anymore. They're kind of ignoring it. Now, I don't know if they'll do that again tomorrow. That's not a prediction. It's just an observation of what these markets have been doing. And I think what's happened is they have priced in that there's going to be disruptions in the Strait. A lot of the oil that was sort of trapped and held hostage there has moved through during the negotiation period. Iranian output's not really essential for the world. And smartly, before Trump did any of this with the Iranians, we started, upping our production. The Venezuela production is starting to come online. There are other, the markets are getting freer, particularly in our hemisphere. And we're the place with the biggest demand, well, next to China. So not to get too nerdy about it, but in a supply and demand equation, the Iranians don't have the ability to shock the supply chain like they did in the beginning. The supply chain, like water, finds a way. It rolls downhill in any path of least resistance. So new delivery systems, pipelines, rerouting of ships, we're unloading a ton of energy during this whole thing off our west coast and in other ways. A lot of our problem is refinery capacity, and we've talked about this many times. So in some ways, the Iranians are every time they try to manipulate the price and it doesn't go up, they're losing leverage ability at the bargaining table, and they're playing a game that might be out of date for them unless they decide to do something more radical and set off like an ICBM or something major at their neighbors or hit the supply chain in a deeper way. And they could, because they're crazy. So tonight, these are considered by CENTCOM, according to the news that's coming across right now, as retaliatory attacks proportional to what Iran has done in the region to sort of keep them in their box. Again, every time you hear this described, you'll see devastating airstrikes, massive airstrikes. Now, don't doubt they're massive simply because of our firepower. Remember, they don't have eyes. They can't shoot at our planes. We can pretty much do what we want. But it's, again, a direct response to their action to try to manipulate the oil markets. And we'll see what they do tomorrow on the commodities exchanges. It's a crazy thing, man. There's a line I was thinking about this during the break when I was trying to catch up and figure out what these headlines were about. There's a line in Apollo 13, and I forget who says it, but it's right before the mission. And when I say Apollo 13, I mean that incredibly well done movie. There's a line in there where a guy says that the country had quit watching the Apollo missions, and it was only after there was an emergency out in space, they didn't know if they could get the ship home, that Americans suddenly started turning their TVs back on to pay attention. But before that, I think it was after Apollo 11, Americans weren't tuning in like they were in the early days of the Apollo program. The country moves on to other things. We've always done that, even in those days of just pure broadcast coverage. And so there's a guy in the movie that says, well, we made going to the moon look routine, like taking out the trash, and Americans became disinterested. I'm probably mangling the quote. The point was we kind of got complacent. It wasn't news anymore because it kept happening. in terms of those missions. In some ways, I feel like the back and forth in the Strait has become that, not only to the financial markets and commodities markets, it seems like it's become that just in the news cycle. Most of the major networks, I was watching the coverage here, they didn't even go to this story. I mean, the CENTCOM gave confirmation just a few minutes ago, probably less than an hour ago, and it wasn't the first story. I'm looking particularly over here at Fox, for example, who they're getting toward the end of their 5 o'clock hour on our time. They're not breaking news and going into these airstrikes. They'll talk about it. It'll be the fifth story in the morning unless something happens overnight. So I guess what I'm saying is there's a pattern to it that's become so familiar. It's not even as newsworthy as it was just at the beginning of this thing. We were all just transfixed by it. That's the nature of the beast, though, is it not? All right, y'all, let me talk about Hueytown Pawn. I've been waiting for this moment in the show, and I can tell you about this deal because Tommy reached out to me early and told me about it. He's good like that. I had not been able to talk about them yet, and he said, have you done our commercial yet? If not, I got to tell you something. So well, give it to me. Here's what they got. They are doing a blowout over at Hueytown Pawn, and many of you know, if you're longtime listeners, yeah, it's a pawn shop, but they're also a really nice gun shop. They've got a really large selection, a big gun counter at Hueytown. And so here's the direct quote from Tommy this afternoon. He says, we got a blowout starting today on AR-15 pistols, ARP 556, 300 blackout, 7.62 by 39 calibers, $399.99. Y'all got me? That's a lot of digits. If you're a gun nut, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's only got 50, and he told me that. So that means that sounds like a lot of guns, but you guys in this audience can snap that up in a day and a half. So if you want one of these at that price, these are the AR pistols. Some people like to collect all kind of formats and all kind of configurations, especially if you've already got the ammo. If you're a 5.56 or a 7.62 person, they got both in those platforms. Again, let me repeat that. Hueytown Pawn right now, when they're gone, they're gone. Tommy does this a lot. He'll get a batch, he'll get an allotment, put them on discount, get y'all in the door. So it goes like this. It is AR-15 pistols. They are 5.56. They got 300 blackout and 7.62. I'm sort of giving you some shortcuts. They're $399.99. So just under $400. Let's put it that way. That's a good price all day long. He carries these quality brands. There's always a great selection of pre-owned stuff in there, and everything, hunting, outdoor stuff, particularly some of the tactical stuff. So, and he may still have some of those AR-12s. I saw him put a picture up of those earlier today. And those are just neat. When I get back home, I'm gonna swing by Hueytown and grab one of those. If he's still got them in, and he doesn't always have the same stuff. So y'all go see him on Brook Lane Drive in Hueytown and get to know Tommy and Adam and those guys. Once you get to know them, now you're dealing with a friend, dealing with real nice people, and you'll want to go back time and time again to take care of your gun business. Hueytown Pawn, back here in just a minute. All right, y'all, 5:52. We got to wrap up and get on out of here. Live shot there. Actually, I had to freeze that camera because it kept rocking around, but that's the Grand Tetons this afternoon as we're about to head on out to the next location for tomorrow. But just one last shot or two of that. Blakely's Bouquets, let's talk about them for a minute. For all your flower gift giving, if you're a decent human being, and most of you are, right, you're going to give somebody flowers in your life, even if you got people in bereavement or going through some sad stuff or in the hospital, you want to give flowers. Maybe it's for your boo thing or your other whoever, and you just want to make somebody feel good. Just send them flowers. Put that note, get that note together. Here's a tip from me. Have your message thought out and ready when you get online, because it's a super quick process. They've got great selection, nice photographs of all their stuff and how it looks, and just easy for me. I'm dumb like that. You show me a picture. Don't send me to the grocery store with a list. Just give me a picture of the label and I can find it. So when it comes to these arrangements, I wouldn't know how to arrange flowers or even how to describe them, but I can look at something and go, that's pretty. And that's the one I want to send. The prices are right there online. And then, of course, you add your message in there. You can pay them right there online, and they get it delivered. It's done, and it'll be beautiful. They send you a little text, fellas, so you know the flowers made it. Then you can kind of make sure she gets them picked up, and that's a good time. Give flowers. When's the last time you sent somebody flowers? Love on people. Blakely's Bouquets will help you do that. What a wonderful group of folks, too, over in Homewood. Now, if you're more hands-on and you are a flower person and you love centerpieces and all those fancy designs and you like participating in it, y'all go see them as well, and they'll get you taken care of and work with you in a very custom way for your events or whatever. And I'm telling you, I like working with decent, hardworking people that love what they do, and that's what you're going to find with them. And you'll go back time and time again. It's Blakely's Bouquets, Blake. You're on your own for spelling bouquets. Blakely's, 2 names, Blakely'sBouquets.com. Blakely'sBouquets.com. AJ, you going to watch any more of the World Cup now that the USA's out of it? I was thinking about that. We talked so much about it over the last few days. I think I'm kind of out, even though I'm fascinated with this Viking team. They're kind of fun to me.
I don't know. I may watch bits and pieces of it if it's like an interesting team. I think Argentina is about to play England, which might be a pretty good game. They almost lost to Egypt, which was about to be a shocker.
No, it's I think it's. Let me pull a little bracket up real quick. I mean, we're not a sports show, but this is kind of fun. I think England and Norway play next.
Well, they play now. Well, do they?
When is that? Hold on, it's coming up right here. Yeah, so I guess we're done with the round. All this stuff's so confusing to me. Yeah, so here are the final 4 matches before they get.
You can tell, like, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. So, if I didn't have a computer pulled up right now, so it's France and Morocco. Who you got? I can't stand the France. Morocco.
Maybe Morocco. Maybe I don't
maybe
know.
They'll both just blow each other up. Spain and Belgium. I'm sort of pissed off at Spain right now. And the Belgian. Hey, that was a good team that whooped our ass last night. It just was. You got to respect that. Maybe I'm pulling for Belgium in that one. You know, every time I think about,
I do it because they got the waffles. You know what I'm saying? I like a good Belgian waffle.
Every time I think of Belgium, there's a memory of my own that comes back, and it's the worst memory ever. Do I want to tell a poop story? When I was young, I was over there doing the train thing with the backpack in Europe. I was like 22 years old, and we had gotten to train transfer station in Brussels, Belgium. We're supposed to get off one train, get on the other train, and we were broke college kids, so we'd get on the regular cars, and then if there was a free sleeper car, we'd go sneak onto it. So I was in Belgium, and AJ, suddenly nature called in the most violent way, in that way where you were looking for the shortest distance between A and B. And I get into the train station bathrooms, and they got floor-to-ceiling doors on the stalls, and you had to have a dime to put in there like a bubblegum machine. You had to put a dime in there and turn it to get the door open. Mm-hmm. So it was a pay toilet, really. I didn't have a dime. Nobody was around to ask for a dime. I was panhandling for a dime. I just didn't even have their currency. We were just passing through. Dude, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die for a Belgium dime. I can't even remember how I got through that situation, but I did not shat myself. I did not. It did not. There was no sharding. I made it. Nowadays, I wouldn't be so sure. I'd be having a pocket full of dimes. But, yeah, every time I think of Belgium, I think about getting trapped at that train platform and worried about my future. Norway and England, yeah, they play July the 11th.
Yeah, Saturday.
On Fox, Saturday. So, and then you got, I got to pull for the Vikings on that one. I just do. Argentina and Switzerland.
So they play the Swiss.
The Swiss.
Yes.
I
do
gotta
like me
go
some Swiss
Argentina,
cake
man.
rolls. So, but Argentina is, I guess, one of the favorites. So I guess I got to go with Argentina with Messi.
Yep.
Messi is Messi.
Brian just reached out and said he was waiting on the poop story. There you go, Brian. You got it, man.
That's all he listened for.
It's all we've done the last hour, Brian, is talk about boobs and poop. This is your kind of show, my friend. That's, of course, my friend Dr. Brian at alabamadental.com. All right. Let me tell you about Work Trucks. That's our last sponsor of the day. And these folks are downtown Birmingham. If you got a business or a church or organization, or you just had too many kids and you got a bunch of booties to haul, go down to Work Trucks and get you one of these very fine vehicles. They've been vetted. They're low miles. They're off lease. They've gone through 125 points, and they're ready to get it done, whatever it is you got to get done for your organization. You can have any kind of group. Like I said, a church. You need a church van or a truck to haul all your band equipment around in. It's Work Trucks. And if you're a plumber, electrician, they got plenty of platforms that are already configured for you. Again, box trucks, flatbeds, vans, pickups of every shape and size. And you're dealing with Bubba and the team. If they don't have what you want on the lot, they'll find it for you and get it here, make it right, and then get you financed and get you on your way. Extended financing. This is one-stop shopping. This is turnkey for your business. TRUX, Work Trucks, LLC.com, Work Trucks, LLC.com. All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow from the next stop on the America's 250 summer, whatever, Leland Live on the road thing.
All right, stay tuned for Break a Break coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.